It's time for the first sprint weekend of the season, and we are bringing some upgrades. Hello folks, and welcome to episode 4 of Formula 2 Champions with Haas here on AHGP. We're gearing up for the first sprint race of the season in Azerbaijan, the Baku City Street Circuit, and we've had a bit of a break between the Australian Grand Prix and this weekend, and there's been lots going on. We've got upgrades both on the car and with the webcam, because I've now got a better webcam. It's now HD, so you can see me and all my imperfections very, very clearly. So yeah, there's upgrades everywhere for this episode. Let's get straight down to business then. There's been plenty going on, not least we had to pause some design work because there was a error designing our new suspension parts. There's also been a regulation vote. We voted for high-speed downforce changes because that's where we've been weakest, as opposed to low-speed downforce changes, and it's high-speed downforce changes that have won through, so they're going to get nerfed for next season. We've had plenty of parts come in. Let's go to the warehouse. So we've got 4 new chassis ready of our second version. We've got new front wings. These are all on the car, by the way. New rear wings. We do have new side pods, but they are still in manufacture, so we won't have those ready for this weekend. We've got a new underfloor, and we're designing our next iteration of suspension. So not fully upgraded, but on the way to being so, which is pretty good, I think. And here's a look at the championship standings. We are currently P6 with Haas. We're a point behind Alpine, who are becoming our rivals somewhat in this series. Didn't really pay them much attention when we were at Mercedes, but we're having to now. Nico Hulkenberg currently 10th in the Drivers' Championship, a point behind Esteban Ocon. 2 drivers doing all the scoring for their teams, but Alpine's Pierre Gasly should be... I know he switched teams, but really he should be doing a bit better there, shouldn't he, really? Felipe Drugovich is a rookie, and he's outperforming Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo and race winner Valtteri Bottas. Baku, we need top speed and low speed performance, so we should be fairly okay here. You join me here in Q2. We got both drivers safely through Q1. Hulkenberg was actually in the top 8. He was P7. Drugovich was P12. Everyone is now filing out of the pit lane for their final effort of the second part of qualifying. I'm just going to wait a little bit here. We're going to actually try and follow out this Ferrari. Lovely stuff. There we go. Right, let's see if we can get a nice big toe down this really long straight in Baku and propel our drivers into Q3. It's Charles Leclerc that we are following. He is a Baku specialist by all accounts. Hulkenberg is leading Drugovich, so Drugovich will be getting a super toe in this section of the circuit. Hulkenberg needs to deliver a good lap, otherwise we're both scuppered, and I don't think that's quite happening at the moment. Interestingly, Hulkenberg is already behind Drugovich in the times. We set our first laps on used tyres. Are they fighting each other? Please don't fight each other, lads. That's really not smart. The Ferrari has cleared off and we're not going to get any benefit from it. And now they're fighting. Why? Hulkenberg is slowing himself down by doing this. He's not going to make it to Q3. He's probably going to start 14th. Drugovich, though, oh, the McLaren, all completely in the way, has scuppered our chances. Drugovich stays 13th. That McLaren, who was it? It was Lando. And he's protected himself in P10 and stopped us getting through. Unbelievable. Bright side, we have outqualified Gasly. Happy sprint day, everybody. Let's get down to business in Baku. But before we do that, I should inform you that Nico Hulkenberg is having a thoroughly smashing time this season. He's already smashed up one of the new chassis and his version of the front wing that we designed specially for this circuit. So, well, not especially for this circuit, but in time to have in Baku, and he already broke it in practice. So that's good news. He's gone back to the original front wing design and is already onto his second chassis. So here we go then. Waiting for the first of 5 red lights this weekend. The lights are on. The lights are out. The race is on. That's Fernando Alonso, you see, disappearing from pole position. And my plan for the sprint is basically try and finish where we started. I'm going to get Drugovich not to fight his teammate. So if we can gain ground, fantastic. But if not, then at least finish where we are. Drugovich has got low confidence because he's not confident in the setup. But hopefully he can improve that as we go through. So our first aim is to try and get past these AlphaTauris. And we also want, well, Lando Norris is getting gobbled up by one of them. That was Daniel Ricciardo, ironically his former teammate. So if we can get ahead of Lando and put him behind us, we can put that whole disappointment of qualifying behind us too. Here's our chance to overtake Daniel Ricciardo in the AlphaTauri. Let's jump on board with Nico Hulkenberg. We're going at warp speed. That was really fast while on board. But I don't think we're quite close enough to the Australian. Here, let's harvest the battery into turn 1. Late on the brakes. Now we will deploy it
Mode push.
onto this straight. Here we go. Out of the corner. Get the traction down. Are we close enough? We're closing in a little bit. It's going to be a send. Oh my gosh. Hulkenberg is a madman. He's absolutely crazy. But he's got the position, so it's all fine. All's well that ends well. That's all I'm going to say. And we're right on the tail of Lando Norris as well. So we could start the Azerbaijan Grand Prix 10. Drugovich is under pressure from Tsunoda. We need to put an end to that and start being a bit more on the front foot. Hulkenberg, absolutely. He's making me worried because he's smashing up the car, but he's also making me very happy because he's making very great overtakes and scoring points. So he's just having, I think he's just having a great time, isn't he? All right, let's see if we can get Lando Norris as well. We're weaving all over the place because Lando is closing the gap and Nico's had it again. Another fabulous send on the brakes into turn 3 and oh my gosh, I thought that was contact. I thought the car was going round. I thought it was a pirouette, but it's not. It's P10 and that is as good as we could have hoped for in this sprint. Lovely stuff. Final lap then. Nico Hulkenberg finishes in 10th place, just 2.2 seconds behind Esteban Ocon. Here's Felipe Drugovich with DRS, chasing Daniel Ricciardo to the line. But that's solid. With Drugovich, we finished where we started, which was the plan. With Hulkenberg, we've massively vaulted forwards. If he'd done a proper lap in Q2, this is where he could have started this race. And we could have been probably 9th. But that's a decent sprint, I would say. More of the same in the Grand Prix, please. It is quite simple, really, in the Grand Prix. It's a one-stop strategy. Although, if you get a safety car, 2-stop becomes completely viable. With Felipe, we're going medium-hard. With Hulkenberg, we're going a bit more racy. We're going soft-hard with the Germans. So, we're kind of splitting our eggs across the proverbial baskets here. And I think we're ready to motor race. We are underfueled a little bit because you can recover the fuel quite effectively around Baku, weirdly. And obviously if there's a safety car or VSC, you'll recover that fuel as well. So hopefully another VSC comes our way or a safety car helps us out like it did in Australia. But if we can get ahead of Ocon, we can leapfrog Alpine and set Haas a team best record for points finishes in a row. So let's do a motor race. Let's do this. 3, 4, 5 red lights in Baku. The lights are out, the race is on. Nico Hulkenberg is getting away pretty well. He's on softs while Ocon is on mediums. Is he going for it? Oh my gosh. Hulkenberg is a lunatic. Maybe that's the title of the video, but he's going for P9. He's done it. Hulkenberg, you absolute legend. Here's Drugovich. Tsunoda on the left-hand side on soft tyres, but we've got the slipstream, so we have the position. Hulkenberg now sending it on George Russell. What has he had for breakfast? Because I want some of it. This is insane. Hulkenberg is just going mad. He's popping off. He's P8. This is beyond our wildest expectations. Although George might just... No, he's settled in behind. Hulkenberg takes another position. He's up to P8. That is thoroughly unexpected. Here we go, getting the job done. Up against George Russell, who we know is pretty good on this game. We've won 2 World Championships with him. We have lost the position to George Russell, but the Hulk is hanging with the Mercedes, and that's also a Red Bull you see in front of you. No, your eyes don't deceive you. We are in a Haas fighting Mercedes and Red Bull. This is nuts. Obviously, the fact that we're underfueled is helping. We've got a red flag.
Red flag.
Well, this has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. It's not Drugovich, is it, I hope? No, it's Logan Sargent and Oscar Piastri. Here we go. Into turn 3. The classic move into turn 3 going wrong. And they're both in the wall. Yep, that's definitely... Oh, and Bottas, or that might be Zhou, has had to stop. Lovely pink and black shirt there for the engineer. Like that. That's completely off topic. But we've got a red flag, so... this is interesting. Do you know what? We've got another. We've got a fresh set of softs with Felipe. Let's put those on and then go to like lap 25 with them. And we're going to do basically the same with Hulkenberg because we've got another fresh set of softs. So we can run him to sort of lap 25 as well. The strategy game has just been blown wide open. It's got a bit cloudy all of a sudden. There's not rain on the way as well, is there? That would be absolutely bonkers. But for the third time, 5 red lights. We don't actually see them go out. I think they just stayed on. But the cars are moving, the lights are out, and the race is on. Hulkenberg from P9. Let's get moving and grooving. We've recovered some fuel there. Time penalty for Logan Sargent for probably attacking the wall. Because it wasn't his fault. But we are now fighting Sergio Perez. And we are ahead of a Red Bull. We are ahead of a Red Bull. We might be crashing into the Red Bull in a minute. Okay, we're behind the Red Bull. Can we make this stick? I think we will. Will we? Yes. Oh, we've almost rear-ended Russell. Drugovich is now 11th. He's shooting up the order. We're side by side through the castle section. This race is nuts. I don't know what's going on in this race. We're attacking George Russell again. Okay. I'm just going to let this all happen. Is he going to go down the inside into turn 1? Oh, he thought about it. He went for it. He definitely went for it. DRS is now enabled and George Russell doesn't have it. Which means Nico Hulkenberg takes 7th place. Round the outside. That's a bit of a dangerous move at turn 3. But here we go. We'll watch it again. We're overtaking a Mercedes for the 2nd time in this race. And we're ahead of a Red Bull. Drugovich is there in the background somewhere. Look at that from the Hulk. We are on an absolute mad one. What have these upgrades done to our car? Bear in mind, we don't have all of them on. And not all of them are on Hulkenberg's car because he smashed the front wing to pieces. Imagine how much faster he would be going if he had it. We've got another red flag. And I think that was Lewis Hamilton in the wall. It is. Lewis Hamilton has crashed out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He's had a collision with Lance Stroll, it would seem. Oh, no, Lance Stroll just didn't leave him any space. Hamilton then broke his front wing and decided the car didn't work anymore. That was weird. So we did lose P7 to Russell, but Hamilton's just crashed out, so I'm sure we'll move up to P7 again. Alright, we'll do this whole song and dance again. 5 red lights. And the lights are out. The race is back on. Drugovich is in the top 10. And he's not in the top 10 because weirdly, annoyingly, at the restart, you don't get the opportunity to set all of these. You have to do it when the lights go out. So I just wonder how long it's going to be until we're P6. I mean, this is mad. Absolutely mad. Hulkenberg just loves overtaking Russell. That or George just wants to be in our videos again. Because he's protesting the fact that we've stopped playing with Mercedes. Are we about to... Drugovich is 9th! Drugovich is 9th. What's the AI doing on tyres? Lots of soft tyres. We're the only team on used softs. Or Ricciardo is, Gasly is. Norris is on hards, probably trying to go to the end. This is absolutely bonkers. And we are now attacking an Aston Martin, which at the start of this save is the second fastest car. We have lost P6 with Nico Hulkenberg. Here's Sergio Perez. This was inevitable. We're on softs, which were used. They had a bit of a blitz at the first restart, then we had to put them through it again at the second one. Also, that's a faster car. So, it was fun being in P6 and challenging for P5, but the fun is over now. At least for a few minutes, because George Russell is 6 seconds back. Here's the pit stop then for Felipe Drugovich. He'll probably come out right at the back. But let's make sure that there's no errors in this stop. Zhou Guanyu is trundling down the... he's going pretty quickly. He's coming down the pit straight. 2.8 second stop. Nice job. So now we can probably not attack with the tyres too much. We want to get them up to temperature. What I'm going to do is deploy the battery and push with the engine. We're going to need to throw this engine out of race use after this one because we've got minor damage to it as well. So fresh engine incoming for Drugovich in Miami. Here's Hulkenberg. We better call him to the pit lane for a fresh set of mediums. 2.8 second stop for the Hulk. We're going to drop out just behind Bottas. So not terrible, but we're close enough to pick up some DRS here and basically crack on. I'm just sitting behind Norris and Bottas at the moment with Hulkenberg. We're going to charge the battery. But if we have a look at the 2D picture of things, Russell will probably come out ahead of us. He's opened up a bit of a gap back to Albon, who's holding everybody up fairly nicely. If we can get past these two that are in front of us, then I think we can secure ourselves at least a top 8. And that's the first position gained for Nico Hulkenberg then on his next set of tyres. Just loves making overtakes today, doesn't he? And that's Lando Norris in front of us. I'm sure we... What? Oh my gosh! He's basically pushed him out of the way. That, Nico... Well, this is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Hulkenberg is an absolute madman. Look at this. He basically nudges him out of the way. And then they decide to go side by side through the castle. I think there was almost a bit of contact there. Absolutely insane. But we're now 13th, so we can press on. We're now ahead of an Alpine. Hulkenberg gets up the inside into the final corner that really matters on this circuit. You need to get good traction, and on our fresher tyres, we do. And into the high-speed chicane. Yeah, that's probably not a safe place to go side by side, but let's just check in with the Hulk. He's starting to make some progress through this lot. We've all got to come in and stop. And the later they leave it, the less time they give themselves to catch up. Hulkenberg has just done a double overtake. Here you go. DRS. And we'll just go 3 wide. And thanks very much. Well, Albon just got completely stuffed on the inside there. Is he past Tsunoda? I don't think he is. He's not. He got absolutely shafted. And here is our opportunity to pass the Alpine. Let's deploy the battery and enjoy this, because we're going to basically half Ocon's available points in this race. There we go. Lovely stuff. Hulkenberg into P8, unless Ocon just takes us out here. He doesn't, which is good. And well, we're still fighting. And we're still fighting. We're doing this whole side by side through the castle again. Great. Ocon, give it up, man. And there we go. He has eventually yielded. There is a chance we could snatch P7 from George Russell. The gap is 6 seconds, and we were just 2 seconds a lap faster than the Mercedes driver last time round. We are pushing with the fuel, so it won't last forever, but Russell is on old mediums, which is really going to help us as the race wears on. Here's Drugovich side by side with Albon, who's on fresher tyres. So we're probably not going to win this battle, although Drugovich is giving it a good go. We'll stick with it. And we're going through the castle side by side again. The game can't make its mind up who's overtaking who. It's Drugovich just with his nose ahead at the moment. And that could have ended up in the wall. but it hasn't, and there goes Albot. They're still side by side. What's Hulkenberg doing? How much did the gap come down by? Wow, we're less than 5 seconds behind. Another 2 seconds, almost, or a second and a half taken out of the Mercedes. Let's deploy and see what we can do. We're about to start our final lap of the race, but we haven't got within DRS of George Russell. We're also on the verge of running out of fuel. So we're going to end this race in P8, and that is a fantastic job. We're going to finish almost 20 seconds ahead of Ocon. What's Russell's tyre wear like? He's really tight for tyres. Verstappen has beaten Leclerc and Sainz to the win. The guy who started the sprint on pole, Fernando Alonso, finishes off the podium in 4th. But we have only eyes for Nico Hulkenberg coming across the line. And we're going to set a new record for Haas. It's going to be 4 Grand Prix in a row where the team have scored points. So they've all come from Nico Hulkenberg. He's come out of his sort of exile, back with the Haas team. 4 points finishes in a row to start the season. Cracking job. He's driven like an absolute madman. He's had me on the edge of my seat, almost ducking for cover. Not bad, not bad. Yes, you did put in a good show. A very good show indeed. Whew, what a race that was. 2 red flags, loads of overtakes from Hulkenberg. Of course, Max Verstappen ends up winning it. That's just what happens in Formula One now. But yeah, we've taken double the amount of points of Alpine this weekend. Let's see what it does for the Constructors' Championship. We now move a point clear of our French counterparts. McLaren get off the mark as well. Lando Norris coming home in 10th. So a fantastic result. In the end, we weren't hindered by the blocking of Norris in qualifying, which meant we didn't get out of Q2. We finished above where we probably should have anyway. So a brilliant race. Really, really pleased with that. Here's the Drivers' Championship. Hulkenberg moves into 9th. Lovely stuff. Drugovich does drop down a position, or 2 positions even, but it's fine. It's all experience for him. He's doing a good job. We're pleased with what he is doing. We are very pleased, though, with how we are doing. We're 5th in the Constructors' Championship. Make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up for that performance from the Hulk on the video for me. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content, and make sure you tune in to the next McLaren with no upgrades until Austria stream on Sunday. I'll see you next time. You're the best fans. Bye for now.